Hello, everyone. So, actually, today I just want to try a live streaming. It's been a long time that I didn't do any live streaming. Almost, I think, 1 month I didn't do any live streaming. So that's why today, yes, just a free talk. Hello. So here I am actually having here my mobile. And then here, I'm doing a live streaming on YouTube and on Facebook and Instagram. So that's why with. So I'm gonna try to speak Japanese, English, both. 日本語も英語もどちらも話していきたいなと思います。結構、2カ国語同時で話すのって結構大変で。Two languages at the same time I speak is quite hard. Anyway, because it's difficult to actually, how can I say, speak faster, right? I need to translate Japanese, English, Japanese, English. So, 日本語と英語、どちらも同時進行で話すとすごい遅くなるんで、ちょっと大変なんですけど、まあ、今日はちょっと遊びで頑張りたいと思います。So then I'm gonna just try to translate English, Japanese for just for fun. So today's live streaming is just for fun. Okay? Let's enjoy almost 1 hour. I'm gonna try 1 hour live streaming. So 1時間ぐらいちょっとライブストリーミングしたいなと思います。なんで、ボロナミリソエルニカリゴ。ギリシャ語もちょっと話せますね。I can speak Greek a little bit too. And also, I'm gonna try a little, super little German. ドイツ語もちょっと頑張りますね。Guten Abend. Ich aus Japan. Ich lerne ganz allein Deutsch. ドイツ語もちょっと頑張りますね。I'm gonna try to speak German too, but my German is little super cute, so that's why difficult. ドイツ語めっちゃ難しいですね。でも、頑張ります。車大好きなんで頑張ります。I'm learning German because I really love German car, right? I think I uploaded already YouTube video. So, when you have the motivation, you can really learn faster. Because the language is really huge, right? Like if you really want to complete everything like educationally. But you can make a friend is quite fast if you really focus on the only speaking. だから、日本人の方も、ですね、英語をコンプリートしたいと思うとすごい大変ですよね。でも、なんか外国人の人と友達作りたいって言って、最初のステップとして、5分ぐらいショートカンバセーションするっていう風に決めたら結構簡単ですね。でもなんかこう、全体的な全ての言語を分かろうとすると大変ですよね。If you try to understand the whole language, it's gonna be really hard. Yeah. So that's why you should target in order to complete this one of the most difficult language, which is Japanese. 日本語めちゃくちゃ大変ですね。でも日本人からしたら、英語大変ですよね。ということで、どちらもこうつなげていきたいなと思います。So that's why I really want to connect, Japan and this English like a Western culture because I can speak both. So that's why if you have any question about Japanese culture or language, I can definitely help. And at the same time, I can really help Japanese people who really want to be an English speaker too. I didn't, grow up in the UK or America. Even I've never lived in English speaking country. And I was just living in Japan for almost entire my life, 30 years, right? But I can speak like this. So which means logically, if you really think, you can be a Japanese speaker like me, right? Like just few years later, you can really record yourself. You can really speak confidently, right? Because I grew up in Japan for 30 years, but now I can speak English, which means why not? You grew up in your country, your country, a whole life, but also a few years later, you can speak Japanese fluently, right? Logically. Yeah. ということでですね、自分の30年間をずっと日本で過ごして、でそこから 急にモチベーション上がって、えー英語話すぞって決めてから、数年ですよね。ってことは、まあ、別になんか帰国子女とかじゃなくても、全然英語すぐ話せるようになるっていうことですよ。In order to achieve such a difficult language, for Japanese, learning English is really difficult. At the same time, English speaker to become a Japanese speaker also super hard, super hard, because Western language, European language is much closer compared to Japanese. So that's why for Japanese people want to learn English, which is Western language, is really hard. And again, the same things. English speaking to Spanish speaking to French speaking to German speaking to Greek speaking is much easier compared to come to Japan. It's letter, totally different. I was learning, German yesterday, and I thought that, oh my god, it's really funny. 音楽ですね。音楽 is music. But then it's, English is music, right? And Greek is musiki. Music to musiki. And then German is Musik, which means music, musiki, music, and then 音楽. Totally different. Oh my god. Even it's, you know, letter is totally different. Tony さん. Hi, Tony. It's my friend. Half だったらできるよ. Yeah, of course. Because you're very lucky that you're half Greek, half Japanese. And of course, your environment is really amazing. But me, look, 100% Japanese. Then want to be a like English speaker, or you actually 100% maybe American or Greek or like a French or German, and then become a like really natural Japanese speaker is really hard. So like my daughter is super lucky for sure. Mother is Japanese and then the father is Greek or some, for example. But me, like you, or like 100% like one just a country. I grew up, and the mother also Japanese, the father was also Japanese, and to become four languages speaker is really like even I couldn't imagine. そうなので、ということでですね、30年間ずっと同じ言語を話して、お父さんもお母さんも日本人でとか、お父さんもお母さんもアメリカ人でとか、お父さんお母さんもギリシャ人でとか、そういうのがほとんどですよね。ハーフの人よりも多分普通になんていうんですか、一カ国の国で育って、お父さんもお母さんも一カ国の国でっていう人が多分多いんじゃないかな。どうでしょうね、世界的に見たら。で、そっからいろんな言語を話すってすごい難しいですよね。うん。なかなか想像できないですよね。うん。ということでですね。はい。そんなことで、今日は、どうやってそんな3カ国語も勉強してるのかなっていう。So I actually wanted to talk about how I study 3 languages every day. You know, quite many, let's say like English is a worldwide language. And then for me, it's been like almost my life, I feel really difficult. Many people say like, oh no, learning English is not difficult. No, for me, it's really hard, like really, really hard. So difficult. But it's because I feel really difficult to learn English. So that's why it was really feel easy when I start learning Greek and German. So like you, maybe you can understand learning Japanese, you feel really, really hard. But after Japanese, I'm sure you feel easy to learn Chinese or Korean, something like that. It's just a different category, super different category. You actually learn the Western languages or, this Asian language. I mean, Asia is really huge, but you can't say like what is Asian language, but something like that. So of course, you feel much easier if you really learn Japanese, and after that you go Chinese or Korean. You feel like, oh, It's similar. Oh, letter also. I got used to it. For me, also the same. After learning English, oh, it's the same letter, similar greetings. Yeah? For example, good morning is really funny, right? In Japanese is ohayo gozaimasu. Ohayo gozaimasu. Do you know what does it mean? Here, write down. Comment. Do you know what does it mean exactly? Ohayo gozaimasu. Of course, good morning. But what is the direct translation? It doesn't say like good morning. Good morning. We're not saying. Do you know what does it mean exactly if you try to directly translate? Ohayo gozaimasu. Yeah. 仕事だからまたね。はい、トニーさんまたね。So everyone, thank you so much for the commenting. I have to answer later. But if you have any question, I'm checking all comments. So that's why at some point I'm gonna answer everything. Okay, so you can write down. So do you know what does it mean like good morning? So good morning is, in Japanese, ohayo gozaimasu. Ohayo. Like I can write down here, especially like if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, you can see my letter. So I'm gonna write down exactly. Ohayo. よし、ちょっと待って。待ってください。Just a moment. What exactly? So such a simple phrase, right? Like good morning. I mean, everybody know. But do you really know the meaning? Ohayo gozaimasu. Oh, hi. You can see now. Like this. Ohayo gozaimasu. On Instagram person, you can see from like this. So, ohayo gozaimasu. You can see the kanji. It's ari means. So this is good morning in Japanese. This greeting, it means it's ari. It's ari, it's ari, it's ari. It's a direct translation. Ohayo gozaimasu. But you see, it's good morning. In English, it's good morning. Like a nice morning or something like that. And it's German also Guten Morgen. So it's the same, right? And it's Greek also Kali, which means good. Mera is day. It's kind of like a day, or good morning. Right. Then it's suddenly English, Japanese. Ohayo gozaimasu. It's Ari. You see, it's a different mindset, different culture. There's no good morning in Japanese. You see? That's why learning Japanese is hard. Such a simple word, you cannot imagine how we speak. Good morning. Ohayo gozaimasu. We never say good morning. It's Ari. It's Ari. Konnichiwa. Do you know what does it mean exactly? Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa, you can translate good afternoon, right? But we never say good afternoon. We don't have like that word. Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa is like this, right? Here. On the YouTube or Facebook, you can see the actual my letter too. And konnichiwa in English is good afternoon, which is konnichiwa you can use at daytime, right? Not in the morning. Good afternoon. And then German, guten Tag, which is Tag also day. And then in Greek is kalispera. Kalispera. Kali. I don't know spera means. But kali, something good, spera. I'm not sure what it does mean. But you're a Greek person, you can translate for me. What does it mean, spera? Anyway, it's a similar mindset. Thinking ways are similar. Good day, good morning. But then Japanese konnichiwa. Do you know what does it mean? It's today means today. Today, today, today means good afternoon. Yeah? Understand? So if the morning is, you will say it's early, it's early, it's early. And then if the daytime, and you say today, today, hey, today. That's a Japanese. So that's why I felt, oh my god, English, German, Greek, everything is same. It's only the Japanese was different. Yeah, I felt like that. So you can not imagine how you're gonna actually speak like a natural Japanese from the Western culture. So that's why we do here in the actually master course. What is the fastest way to really understand the Japanese thinking way, so you can really naturally speak? There's so many things. It's funny things I can really tell you. Recently, this is also really happened. For example, I was teaching Japanese to the students, right? And I said, okay, let's do our lesson next Tuesday. And then this time she tried to speak to me in Japanese, and then she said, かっこいい. This is really common. Actually, so many times happen. It's not only her. It's so many times. かっこいい. Do you know what does it mean? かっこいい. かっこいい. So I can write down here. かっこいい is really useful, but then, culture difference, different mindset. You really need to know how to use it. かっこいい. かっこいい is like that. Yeah? かっこいい. かっこいい means cool. Of course, if you are a native English speaker, you're gonna say it like this, かっこいい, like cool. Because, okay, let's do our lesson next Tuesday. Cool. Great. But this is again culture difference. You can't answer with cool in Japanese. Do you remember? Good morning is it's early. You have to say it's early. Okay? Which means you have no idea how you're going to say cool in Japanese. That's natural way to speak. Okay? So this time we don't need to say cool. We're going to say sounds good. It's good, you have to say. You have to say it's good. So it's good in Japanese, which means いいですね。いいですね。いいですね。あ、はい、そうしましょう。Yes, let's do it. You can answer. But you cannot answer great. すごい No, it's not すごい. It's weird because すごい in Japanese is super excellent. It's not super excellent for just to schedule the lesson. So we're never gonna say, okay, let's do our lesson. Super excellent. That's すごい。すごい。すごい. You have to use it something super great things. Okay? Really, like you actually really cannot believe that it's something really good. Is すごい. Wow, I cannot believe it. すごい. Yeah? So also かっこいい. Then what does it mean かっこいい is cool, but you can't use it so often かっこいい. かっこいい means handsome. Handsome. Good looking. Oh my god, you're super sexy or super cool. So that's why you have to say かっこいい. So you can use it to only super sexy things. Okay? So that's why, of course, you're not gonna use let's do our lesson next Tuesday. You're super sexy. Huh? かっこいい. So that's why it's different culture. You cannot use whatever. Oh, cool. Oh, yes, let's do it. Oh, let's go to the movie tomorrow. Cool. Cool means in Japanese is sexy. So you can't use it. Okay. So anyway, Japanese people are really quiet and silent and very, kind. Whenever you speak unnatural Japanese, like you say let's say super sexy, but we wanted to say just a cool. But even like you speak a little bit weird, Japanese. Mm. People will say, people would not say, oh, your Japanese is a bit weird, or oh, your Japanese is a bit rude, or something. That's it. Japanese people is always. So I'm gonna speak these things in Japanese. So 日本人はいつも。という感じで、外国人にとってはすごくミステリアス。For the foreigners, they feel even like mysterious. I don't understand what Japanese people are thinking. あ、そうですね。はい。うん。Okay, okay. No problem. So this face, you really cannot believe that they even hate you or like you. Because our culture in Japan is be polite is the most important things. Even they hate you or even they feel uncomfortable with you because you speak a little bit weird Japanese, or even you said you wanted to say just cool but you said, oh, you're super sexy, かっこいい. No, we just say just. So this face behind what they are thinking, you have no idea. Because Japanese culture is super hospitality, and it's omotenashi, it's called. And then always like this. おはようございます。I hate you, but おはようございます。どうも。That's normal Japanese. If they say like this face, Japanese people, I don't think you're gonna see so often. So honest. I mean, so clear that it's what they are thinking. Because Japanese people actually they don't behave whatever they actually really feel. So they usually behave, politely. We never make you feel bad. That's culture. So that's why it's a bit scary that it's difficult to recognize what Japanese people exactly feel. But I can give you the tips that it's what exactly this person thinking. It's just clearly you can see from the behavior. For example, she was very smiling. But after that, she never contacted me, like never chatting, never send me the message, or they never say like, "Oh, let's go out together" or something, which means they just don't like. If they really like, they definitely text you like, "Oh, let's go out together" or something. This is like a more personal relationship. But then at the business, also the same. They will say, "Yeah, your Japanese is good." Let's say the job interview. Yeah, your Japanese is good. うん。頑張って。Good luck. But they didn't hire you, for example. Or maybe they hire you, but it's a very low salary. But she was saying yes. No, no, no. Doesn't mean yes. It looks like they lied to you. No, it's not lie. This is be just polite. But it's just look at your money. Look at actually the fact that it's after the job interview they didn't hire you which means they just didn't feel super happy because maybe you said a little bit weird Japanese or maybe rude Japanese or maybe another reason. But if you really just stick on the communication skill, that it's actually you speaking really nicely with the Japanese, so you really need to think real like a natural communication, which is you make them feel good or not. ということでですね、外国人からすると、この日本の微笑みってミステリアスなんですね。怖いですよね。確かに考えるとね。だんだんもうずっと外国に住み始めて、こういうことを、日本人として考えるようになって、へえ、そっか、日本人ってミステリアスなんだ、みたいな感じですよね。So Japanese people are a little bit mysterious because always like this, quietly, just smiling. What does it mean? They hate you or they like you? So you really need to check actual their behavior. If they like you, definitely they will contact you. Yeah. Or like at the company also the same. If they really like you, definitely they're gonna pay you, you know, at least average salary. So that's actually interesting things. Mm. So let's see. Comment. Thank you so much. トニーさん、ありがとうございます。Ich liebe dich. I love you. Thank you, thank you. そっか、こんにちは、てるみ先生。はい、どうも、こんにちは。こんにちは。イワナさん、こんにちは。ジョージさん。あー、い、い、い、いら、カラリスさん。どうぞ。こんにちは。こんにちは、こんにちは、皆さん。こんにちは。アリさん、こんにちは。その通り、その通り。何の話すみません。前から聞かなかった。So I'm just checking the Instagram comment. どうもどうも、どうもどうも皆さん。Thank you so much. And then I'm gonna check here and Instagram, Facebook. So Japanese. Hi from Greece. Yasu, hi from Greece. Ha ha ha. I'm Greek. I'm learning Japanese for some week. It's pretty difficult, I have to say. Yeah, exactly. As I said, it's said one of the most difficult language. So yeah, sure. That's why we need effective learning because try imagine, we have Japanese kanji, 2,500 kanji, right? 2,500 kanji, 2,500 kanji. Do you hear this pedakosha kanji in Greek? I don't know in German. I have to learn the number. Anyway, 2500漢字ですね。ということで、so if you don't learn kanji, every day, you're never gonna finish. Because logically, try to think, because native Japanese people, we learn from elementary school 6 years, junior high school 3 years, high school 3 years, which means at least we usually study like 12 years, right? But every day, right? Living in Japan, mother, father, Japanese, and then study like almost 12 years, and at least we can read the newspaper. So if you just study even like 1 hour per day, totally not enough. Maybe double, which is 20 years. Or if you don't study every day, it's going to be like 30 years, right? That's why, okay, logically, what you can do with the Japanese language? Either you're gonna study like a crazy every day, like 10 hours every day, or like me, I just want to communicate with the people. I want to just do the YouTube like 10 languages, or I just really want to have a friends. Then why not? Why not focus on the speaking rather than like never gonna finish kanji part? Of course, some people can do it. Maybe they have plenty of time, or they have a super brain that they can actually go to the Harvard University, or something super smart person, of course exists. But it's 99% of people is like me or higher, that is average, Me, I'm lower, I didn't go university, I just a high school student. I just finished high school. That's it. Lower than the average, maybe you can say. But like this person also can speak like 4 languages, and including, like difficult languages. So that you try to, like, if you really think about a strategy to really complete language. So either you're gonna go kanji, or like you're gonna go speaking. Which one is more you can really use in your life? You really want to read the book, or you really want to make a friends? I think you can choose it in order to, learn faster. If you don't choose it, you can learn it, but you really cannot see the result. I'm studying so much, but still I cannot do anything with the Japanese language. Like progress is like that. That's why everybody really, really cannot believe that I became a 4 languages speaker in just 5 years, because I, committed some part For example, I'm really bad at spelling in general. English spelling, no way. And then Greek spelling, super no way. And German spelling, super, super, super no way. But it's what I can do is I can speak. I'm really like, I love to make a strategy, right? Because I think I'm thinking, in the future, 2021, 2030, 2040, why I need to learn the writing. I don't know. Some people love writing the letters. Some people really love the spelling for sure. But me, I hate it. I'm sorry. I'm telling you that this is honest. I hate spelling. I hate even like my mother language kanji to just write it down by hand. Why? Yeah, I mean, speaking is much fun. You can do so many things, and it's Google Translate know almost all kanji, right? Why not? Why not? This is my personal opinion. I'm not gonna say you should not learn. You should not stick the writing part, but pretty much, Google Translate is much smarter than us. I mean, 2,500 kanji they can immediately recognize. It's just one even second. You just copy paste the newspaper and they just translate everything. It's crazy, right? So, but they cannot help you to speak so much. If you say, "Hey Google Translate, I'm gonna make a friends to help me," you can maybe just listen the voice like recognition to just a little bit understand the pronunciation, but pretty much they cannot help. So that's why my personal opinion is it's better I think being a speaker than you really go difficult writing or spelling. Yeah, what do you think? You can write down your comment. So I will never be able to speak Japanese in my life. どうしてなんで Why? If you want, you can do it. If you don't want, of course, why not? You should never learn because it's difficult. But if you really want, you can do it. And so I thought you can also use konnichiwa as a hello as well. Yeah, I think it's quite many people confusing this konnichiwa. What does it mean exactly? For example, when I went to Munich in Germany, they said like a service, like hi. You can use it to almost 24 hours. Is that actually in Greek is like yasas, like you can use it all the time, like hi. And English is yes, of course, a hello and a hi. But Japanese, that's exactly if you want to use it same way is domo. Domo for 24 hours like a hi. But konnichiwa is not exactly hello. It's konnichiwa is usually good afternoon. You can translate. So usually it's afternoon only, like 12 p.m. till like 6 p.m. Because after 6 p.m. is you can usually say good evening, konbanwa. So if you use it konnichiwa at night, it's really weird. Mm, it's weird. So that's why konnichiwa is not hello. Konnichiwa is good afternoon. But if you really want to say this hi is domo. Domo, hi. Yep, exactly. So try imagine such a simple word you are not sure how you're gonna speak like a 10 minutes or like a 30 minutes fluently in Japanese. You really need to commit to speaking. Otherwise, you're never gonna finish because it's so many things you have no idea how different. So the textbook, good, but its textbook should written that it's how to use what time with which way, like rude Japanese or polite Japanese, and 10 layers of politeness, right? 10 layers like a Japanese politeness. You really need to be sure what you are actually learning right now. Otherwise, you don't know how to use it. Even like I forgot it. I forgot that. How are you gonna imagine the 10 layers of I forgot it? Can you imagine? You can say 10, I forgot it with super nice, polite way to super rude way also you can say. But, pretty much in English is I'm sorry, I'm very sorry that I forgot it. But I forgot doesn't change it. I think it's any European language, I think it's like that. You cannot change the verb itself, forgot, for so much 10 layers of way, you know? That's crazy. Crazy. I cannot imagine how I learn it. I'm native Japanese, but I don't know how I learn it. So that's my answer. We learn how is, of course, first of all, we never done any grammar exercises. Try to ask all native Japanese. Try to ask all millions of native Japanese. Have you ever learned Japanese grammar? And everybody say no, never, never. And only you guys, as a foreigner, you are learning the grammar. That is, we never know. This is crazy, right? If you think it's crazy. But I think it's a native language speaker is always like that. For example, I'm living in Greece, and I said so many times, oh, what does it mean this grammar? And then some people, yes, because they're really good at language grammar, because maybe they a major is maybe language, and yeah, I can answer. But if I just go different place and then, oh, I'm not good at grammar, I don't know. But they are super native language speaker, right? Super native English speaker doesn't mean they can really explain perfectly grammar. You are native Greek doesn't mean that you can perfectly explain the grammar, right? And that's German also the same. I mean Spanish, I mean French, everybody's same. So that's why there's so many people are confusing that is, oh, I want to speak this language, I need to learn the grammar. No, believe me, it's not. Because if this logic is really true, and how the children can learn the languages. Baby, oh yeah, baby, right? The baby can speak languages, and they don't, of course they don't know the grammar, but they can speak. So it's not logical. People, a human, can learn language without grammar knowledge, of course. Of course. And if this it's not true, write down. And why? Because children can learn any languages from 2 years old, and they can really be a native speaker. That's why it's really happened that is, for example, the person who don't have money and never even been to the school, like a gypsy, but also they can speak at least one language, right? But some people cannot write it down. That's the actual human. Writing is more difficult and speaking is much easier. And that's why try imagine you really want to learn Japanese. Why you do writing first? I told you Japanese writing is super difficult. You should not start writing first. That's the logic. That's the logic. Super difficult language. You should first speaking. And after the speaking, you can learn language like, general, like humanity. Speaking first and the writing later. Understand? That's the reason I became 4 languages speaker just 5 years, because I skipped the all writing part. That's logical, right? So that's why if you really want to speak, please do the speaking first, writing later. Okay? And I'm super, like, how can I say? I love communication with the people. I love communication with the people. So that's why I really don't need the writing part. I really want to speak. So you understand? So that's why try to think so many languages, like a industry, like I mean the school. 99% of language school, they teach you writing first. So that's why it's not logical, because a human can learn speaking first, like a baby. So that's why you really need to recognize, should I learn writing first? Because you want to like understand the newspaper first, then communication with the people. Or if you really want to communicate with the people, please start speaking training first than writing. Especially Japanese, we have 2,500 letters. Good luck for writing. So that's why I cannot really recommend, because that's my honest for you to do the writing first, because you cannot feel the progress fast. So go tell me. Jonas Sensei, thank you so much. So everyone, hi, wave. Thank you so much. So it's just I'm telling you, because I didn't go university. I'm super like even the lower like a lower than average education person, right? Like I just grew up in Japan. I never even feel I'm super smart. No. And I was playing the basketball and the volleyball for all my school life, and then like in the school I was just sleeping like that person. Now I became full language speaker, and then everybody, all my school friends, hey, what's happened to you? And no one can really understand what I did. So that's why not you? I'm sure much smarter than me. You went to the university. I'm sure you have the English like certificate or whatever, any certificate. I have only driver's license though. But I'm sure you are much smarter. You have a university degree, you have like English proficiency, like and then why not? You can speak. Of course. It's, believe me, it's much easier than you actually do the writing or spelling. But you just need the concentration, right? One things I'm just telling you, you need to do just training every day a little bit, because our brain, when actually you try to speak, you cannot think about the grammar. Okay, it's like a song. It's like a song. You sing a song, you remember the tone, right? You have a favorite song, you have a favorite music, and you remember how the tone, and then all these things naturally come. So that's the you actually the language that when you are speaking, that's happen. Like you said million time, especially your native language. You, when you're speaking, do you think about grammar? For example, if you are native Greek, or if you are native American, or British, or German, or anything, when you're speaking, do you really think about grammar? No, right? And why you can speak so fast? Why? Tell me. Tell me why you can speak so fast. For example, me now, I'm trying to speak English, right? But why I speak fast? Maybe sometimes I'm making mistake, I'm sure. Be- but I'm telling you, because I spoke like 5 hours like every day, and I just don't need to think about grammar so much. But of course, I'm native Japanese. 日本語話した方がめっちゃ楽です。If I speak Japanese, it's much easier than speaking English. Then what about other language? I can speak Greek and little German too. And it's just to really see how much time I spend. That's actually how easy it comes. For example, I'm speaking Japanese for entire my life. So it's like, I don't know if I calculate it, how many hours I spoke. So of course it's gonna be easiest language. And it's the English. Now it's like a really, these 5 years I'm trying to speak almost every day like crazy, 5-10 hours, right? So that's why getting much easier. And it's the Greek, because I'm living Greece. So that's why compared to English is still low. But also, these 5 years almost I'm meeting everyday Greek person. That's this, much easier than any other time in my life. And it's German. Very, very few times I went, and then I tried to learn. Of course, it's most difficult language for me. And any other language like French or Spanish, I never even study. Of course, I have no idea. So many language learners, they even like make, how can I say, misunderstanding. If they learn grammar, they can start speaking. No, it's just about time. You cannot speak, how can I say, when you you cannot speak when you try to actually thinking about the grammar. It's kind of stuck. How was it? What was it? For example, Japanese language, we have a lot of like a particle, like English is on or at or in or of. Japanese is like a de, wo, ni, wa, ga. It's like just the word to word that you need to put it something to connect. And then everybody say, "Oh, my study is not enough because I always like thinking about the particle. Is it there or no?" No. It's not about your study or grammar knowledge. It's just that you're not spending a time. So you cannot imagine how these small things connect. It's like I was telling this one of my students. It's like you don't know how to say a lot of apples. A lot of apples, right? Is this a? You thinking a or the or like on or it? And it's your answer is of course definitely a, because it's you have no idea why you have to say a lot of, not the lot of or in lot of. But it's you have heard million of time. It comes naturally. So your question to Japanese, you don't know what is ga or de or no or wo. Use it many times. It's naturally coming. But you cannot study grammar and it's come naturally, because when you are speaking, you are not thinking about grammar. So this is a huge misunderstanding. You are smart. I understand. You are studying grammar. I understand. But it doesn't equal to be a fast speaker. Okay? Fast speaker is just a memorization, nothing else. Memorization. It's like I really know this song exactly. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. It's you are not thinking about anything. It's just coming naturally. That's the language speaking. You don't even know the grammar, but you can speak. Yep. So that's that. Oh, that's why I actually became a 4 language speaker. It's just 5 years, like one language, one year, because I'm just skipping the most inefficient, like a most like a inefficient part, that it's you are doing maybe writing too much, or even you are learning useless words and you forgot tomorrow. You will forget tomorrow, you can't learn the random word because you're gonna forget tomorrow. And how are we gonna stop forgetting the words? That's actually you need to learn the phrase, like a song. You cannot forget it because you learned as a flow. So that's why you have to learn as a sentence, not never divide like just a one part, like a on. Because let's understand on in English. On. How are you gonna use on? So many way. Like Japanese also the same. Ga or wa or de. So many way. You can't learn just one part of the sentence that you can use it in millions of way. Yeah. So that's actually, if you really want to learn, this is not about only Japanese language. If you really want to be a 10 language speaker in like someday, you can definitely use this knowledge. And especially I really want to, at least I want to complete these 4 languages, right? I'm native Japanese, and then the rest of the other 3 languages in the future, maybe I can go another language too, because I really like to communicate with many people. So what do you think? The life is only once, and I'm 35 years old. I cannot study like elementary school student. If you study like elementary school student, I'm gonna become a 60 years old grandma, and I cannot still speak anything. Like you, for example, you start Japanese language, and still 60 years old, still you cannot speak nicely. It's shame because we are not child. We need to learn something effectively, inefficiently, efficiently, not inefficiently, efficiently. Okay. So thank you so much. Many comments. So here, let's see. Kanji is too difficult. I really agree. Okay. Japanese is pretty funny. Yeah, Japanese is pretty funny for Western culture. For me, for us, not funny. For the Western language is more funny. That's why it's really different things. It's really funny, right? Yeah. So Kalispera tell me, hey Kalispera, and then hello tell me, I lived in Tokyo for 8 years. Oh, Jax, that's cool. 8 years. How was it? How is your Japanese speaking skill? Yeah. So and then you are mysterious. Mysterious? Really? Yeah, maybe. Oh, anytime you see me, it's always I'm smiling. But it's in my head, it's something thinking totally different things. So that's actually quite Japanese people all the time. It's the same face, but it's so complicated things they are thinking. That's why we can make like complicated car or any machine, right? Like the sensitive things. So that's why it's from the Japanese people's face, it's quite difficult what they're thinking. Mm. So that's why you have to understand from their behavior or like small different like, I said 10 layers of Japanese language to rude Japanese to polite Japanese. From that, we can actually understand it. Between the native and native, we can really understand, oh, this person is this way or 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 this way. Really little bit polite, really super polite. Wow, super respectful. Oh, she's really good person. She's really respecting. Or like, oh, a little respect. Oh, a little bit like a macho person, like a macho, like in Greek is mangas person, or like whatever. Small differences I can understand this personality. Yeah. So Japanese language is really sensitive. Mm. So here, hello, Kai-san. Greeting from Philippines. すでに日本語をしましたが、勉強しましたが、もっと学びたい。Hello, hello. I love adobo in Philippines. So 頑張ってください、日本語。Good luck. So tell me, what is your favorite anime manga? Favorite anime manga? Yes. Favorite anime is Lupin the Third. Everybody don't know. I don't know why. In Japan, everybody know it. Lupin the Third. This is my most favorite anime. I was even like I was otaku in the high school. When I was in high school, I had like a lot of figure and all this crazy stuff. I had like the Lupin the Third guns also. Yeah, and then yeah, Evangelion I like. Manga I don't read it because do you remember I'm really bad at writing and the reading. Like it sounds stupid, but it's if you say yeah, I agree. I really bad at reading stuff. So you cannot imagine, right, how I'm learning the language. I'm really bad at even like reading Japanese. Yeah, my best friend is Tokyo University. He's from Tokyo University. Tokyo University is like a Harvard in Japan, and this is my best friend. And then he cannot really imagine that how I cannot read Japanese. So this is my honest. So I'm really bad at reading stuff. So I learned everything from the video. Okay. And then that's why I cannot read the manga. Yeah. Okay. But I can teach, of course, basic stuff. Of course, elementary school student level Japanese. Of course, I can read. Of course. But it's just I cannot, I'm just not good at reading. I just get tired. So see. I see. Thank you. Adults can't memorize word if not see them in writing. Oh no, definitely not. I really disagree with that. Because as I said, I can learn the language without writing. Yeah? I just can give you the one simple example why the human can learn the language without writing. That's a song. How you learn the lyrics without seeing the letters. If you hear the song 1,000 times, you definitely can sing any song, even the, like a French song, whatever. Even you don't know the French, but if you sing this, if you hear this song like million times, you can even like a sing. So of course, for example, let's say what you want to say in Japanese. Let's say, like, because one of here was living in Tokyo for 8 years, right? Then how are you gonna say I was living in Japan for 8 years? So 8年間日本に住んでいました。So without writing, right now, that definitely I can teach you how to say it. So okay, for 8 years is 8年間. So please repeat after me. 8年間。8年間。8年間。8年間。So 8年間 is for 8 years because 8 is 8. 年 is year and 間 is for duration. So 8年間 you can learn. You can learn the language without writing. How are you gonna forget it if you really repeat it like 20 times? 8年間、8年間、8年間、8年間、8年間、8年間、8年間. That's the children learn the language because good morning, おはよう, and おやすみ, good night. You know, every day, same routine, right? The children routine is super simple, right? Like good morning to go to the school and then the same things they do, and it's have a lunch and then dinner and the sleep. The same routine. How they can actually forget the word, you know? For example, breakfast, asagohan, whatever. So anyway, if you really repeat, of course you can learn any words, any language. But adults are always problem. They have an ego that they want to learn faster, and it's really fast, and they try to study like a crazy. You know, like 5 hours they study on Sunday because today I don't have a work. I'm gonna study like crazy for 5 hours, and the tomorrow morning they don't remember anything. Do you know why? Because they just learn whatever, anything that useless word or whatever, like grammar or writing kanji or like, I mean, crazy activities they do. And they are even satisfied. Oh, yes, I study 5 hours, and tomorrow morning they don't remember anything. You don't need to do it like that way. And you cannot remember anything tomorrow morning. You just need the same routine, same phrases, like a song. That's why you really need to decide what you want to say in Japanese first. And then you just repeat many times. If you can learn one phrase today, only one phrase, if you learn today, and 365 days, you're going to learn 365 phrases. It's totally enough, believe me. You don't need to do like crazy things for 5 hours and tomorrow morning you don't remember anything. That's the adults, you know, like learning. It's really common. They try to learn so much and tomorrow morning they don't remember anything. So I just learn always one phrase per day. Nothing else I don't do. That's why I'm telling you 10 minutes, if you can really do the correct learning, you can really speak. It's easily you can speak any language. If you just learn one phrase, you're going to just repeat like 30 times every day, this one phrase, and tomorrow you're going to go different phrases. And then even naturally, you can understand the grammar. Believe me. So that's why you don't need to do the writing. Believe me. Of course, you can write down to just, remember what you want to say. But it doesn't mean you have to write it down. You cannot speak. No. It's like a memo. You can just write down the memo in order to not forget what you want to say. But believe me, it's kanji. If you don't know, you cannot speak. No way. Because all the children in Japan, they don't know kanji, but they can speak Japanese fluently. And why you are doing a kanji? Why? Super difficult. Believe me, it's 2,500 kanji, it's 10,000 pronunciation. Why you're doing that? It is super hard. It is super hard, and it's a language like a 99 Japanese language school because they want, I don't know, they want you to learn like 20 years because I can get the money for 20 years from you. I don't know, they teach you like all the time kanji. I have no idea. I have no idea. I did it like really usual language school, like almost 4 years. And I saw that it's no one really learning, and I really cannot see anyone has a progress. And I said, stop. Okay, I can't do it. Like I'm like I feel bad about that. Like, hey, hi, you can speak Japanese, but in my mind it's, hey, you're never gonna speak it. Believe me, you're never gonna speak it. I feel bad about it. And I said, okay, I'm gonna stop it. Like I don't want to pretend. I'm gonna say, don't learn grammar, don't learn kanji. That's it. This is my honest. Yeah. Okay. So let's go. So before I remember when studying Japanese on my own, I just emulate Japanese artists on movies on how they speak and act. Then listening to the music and sing their song as well. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Hello from Paris, Terumi Sensei. Ah, hello, Jane. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, intelligence has nothing to do with the bachelor degree. You don't need a university to tell you who you are. All you need is to put the passion and the commitment and what you love. Tell me you are great. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, this is, I really agree. Yes. Because, believe me, I really didn't have money. And in Japan, either you're going to go to the bank and I have to, borrow the money and then go to the university. I think in the United States also, I think it's the same. And then me, I really didn't have money. And then anyway, I was just a person who's sleeping at the class all the time. There's no way to go to university. Then I just start working, like nightclub, or even like I was working in the office, try to be a little bit proper person, in the Japanese company. And then I thought that it's gonna be like, just poor person in whole my life. That was like early, like a beginning of my life, from the school age to like until 22 or something. And I said, okay, the life is only once. The uneducated person cannot get the really super high career, right? Because all the time when I go proper company, they say like university degree, hi, university degree, university degree. So I cannot apply anything. The proper like really famous company, right? For example, if I want to go to the Sony, there's no way I can go to Sony, if I'm Japanese, because I don't have a university degree anyway. So the poor person who cannot go to university, they have always two choices: being just poor and then just like work at the nightclub or whatever, like me in the past, or start a business. So it's a huge differences. That's why I really can tell you that I'm sure you are smarter than me, and that's why you can speak many many languages already, and you have maybe more actually the skill to actually study. I don't have skill to study. That's why I said, okay, let's learn the language like a song, just to sing and just like learn the song. So that's why German song, which is German language, Greek song, which is Greek like a language, and English song, which is like an English language. That I learned the language like that way. So if you use my method, which is you are really smart, you can speak much faster than you just study and then tomorrow you forgetting again, 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 again. So that's why, of course, here, the exactly Jack said, of course you need to be passionate about it. Anytime if you're not having the motivation when you wake up in the morning, I don't want to study. If you're feeling like that, of course you're not gonna achieve anything. So my good point is I had always passion. That's why I think I could do this, things. But motivation, of course, it's the most important. Motivation is here. Yeah, the next is actually you need to learn effectively because you're gonna start forgetting every day. So that's you learn, you forget. You learn, you forget. You don't learn anything, right? So that's why how can we do learn and learn and learn and learn and learn, not learn and forget, learn and forget. So that's why, of course, passion is most important, motivation is most important. The next is the way of studying. Yeah. So thank you so much. So, yes, είσαι πολύ γλυκά και κάνεις τέλεια βίντεο. Ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ. Ευχαριστώ. Thank you so much in Greek. So, that's true and actually very claiming to know. Okay. かわいいです。Thank you. Greeting from Greece. Greetings. And okay, that's so many comments. Thank you so much. I think I did almost 1 hour. I think I have to stop it, but I'm gonna read all the comments later. Okay, so thank you so much. I was doing almost 1 hour on YouTube and Instagram and then Facebook. Thank you so much. I hope you really how can I say understand this, totally different way of study. Of course, you can do this like a really common study, like a grammar and writing, and after that you're gonna take the test, and after that hope to be a Japanese speaker. Hope. But another way that I'm just recommending to you is you don't need this step, like learn the letter, learn the grammar, and after that try to take the test, and finally you try to be a speaker. That's really common, right? But it's what I said is you can skip all this part. You can just try to learn the phrase and then try to repeat it. So because you repeat, you cannot forget it. So you can really speak already. And after that, and at some point, you can start even understanding the grammar because you start using. And after that, you can go writing like humanity. Like humanity. Humanity, actually, we do like that. Mother told me the phrase. And after that, I repeat like my mother. And I just, because you try to using so many times, even you can understand the grammar naturally, but even I cannot explain, but I can really understand. And after that, you can try to do the writing later. So that's my suggestion. So thank you so much. It's interesting and very nice advice that you don't need to learn kanji. Ayu-san, this is my best friend's sister from Japan. It's a late night. 夜中じゃないですか？遅くまで起きてるんですね。そう、ということで、本当に皆さんありがとうございました。Thank you so much. エフカリスト、Dankeschön, and thank you, and then gracias, and then what do we have more? So anyway, so thank you so much, and I hope you're gonna keep watching my YouTube channel. And if you haven't subscribed my channel, please subscribe so you can get the next live streaming notification. So just またね。じゃあね、またね。皆さんおやすみ。おやすみ。